Okay. I'm sorry that you feel like you have a lot of homework right now. I know that's really frustrating. You guys have like 2 weeks left. You have 2 weeks from this exam. So I know that, I mean, how long are these essays taking you? Like, they really shouldn't be taking you that long.
There was only one this time, so like
There
not long.
was. It
Yeah,
was a
the
little
essay's
bit,
not be taking that long.
and this one was a little bit longer. It had more terms in that one essay.
I had
Um,
never heard of whoever's
Wait,
org.
have you graded them yet?
Yeah.
I have. I just got done. I would say they're pretty good, and we'll go through where you guys lost some points. I'm still pleased. This is a tough one because there's so many, and some of you guys just forgot one of the terms, like you didn't do one of the terms. Please, please, please don't leave points on the table on the day of exam. So just to start, before we roll into the essays, and Jeremy, as soon as you get your stuff logged in, you got to get that essay done so I can give you credit because it's late now and I want to be able to give you as much credit as I can. Okay. I emailed you guys this morning, lots of resources. Okay. And we're going to go through a couple of them before the end of the class. I'm not going to go through all of them because I'm not trying to keep you here forever, but one that's really important that I kind of want to go through quickly as a class is the demo, just so you guys know where to go to practice. I know it sounds stupid, but to practice logging in for the day of the exam. You need to do that ahead of time so that we can be sure that there's no technical issues. If for some reason it's just not popping up on your screen or you just can't get it to work, then we're going to have to figure out if you need to use a different computer, if you have some like modem or router issues. Some of you guys, your AP Psych exam is your last exam. And so I just want to be sure in the next couple of days that you guys are doing this. There's a checklist that I really want you to print out of all the things that you need at your workstation, at your table that day. Not only do you need to have the documentation like your e-ticket is going to get emailed to you 2 days before the exam. If for some reason you don't get it, do not panic. You can log in to your My AP account and download it from there. And so if for some reason you just, bless you, if for some reason you just don't see it, don't freak out. Just log in your My AP account. And if it's not there, then we'll have to figure that out. But everything should be there that you need, okay? So there's also like a how-to video that you can watch at some point. But my question at the beginning of how long is it taking you guys to do these essays is because please, please don't not be studying. And that's what I put in the email as well. You have your Jeopardies, you have the crash course videos, you have the study guide, you have so many resources. If you have not picked up that study guide and not touched a Jeopardy yet, it's still not too late, okay? So I really want you guys to be studying on a regular basis because I really do genuinely mean this. I'm a terrible liar. Everyone in this class is capable of 3s or higher. And there's a part of me, I'll be honest, that wonders if this AP exam might be a little easier than it normally is because Corona. Because there's public school kids that have not gotten any instruction in 3 months, 2.5, whatever it is now. Okay, and so I genuinely wonder, because it's only 2 essays, you know, what this can look like. Going through the essay, somebody said, I've never heard of the organ of Corti. Yeah, I don't know that I taught you that. I'm just going to be, you know me, I'm just going to be honest. I'm not sure that I cared about that or taught you that. And I think I told you, when you take these exams, there's going to be one word, and every year a kid comes back and is like, you ain't never said that word in class. And I'm like, you know what? I probably haven't said that word in class. I'm not sure I did. I cannot possibly, I mean, I bet I cover 99.8% of what's on this exam, but there's going to be something that I'm sure you're going to see it and be like, what? I never heard that word before. And it happens every year, not just this year. So don't panic. You guys all did exactly what you need to do on exam day, which is you pulled out your book or Google, right? And you figured it out. And it's not a hard thing. It's just that inner ear. It's like the microphone in your ear. It's the part of the inner ear that is going to transmit sounds to your brain. And that's all you needed to say. I think every single one of you got points for that. Okay. So let me share my screen so we can look at the actual exam itself. I mean, the actual essay, excuse me. Stupid thing's in the way and I can never find it. There it is. Okay. So one, I unlocked the FRQ 4. That is going to be due at 11 o'clock or by 11 o'clock on Thursday. So be working on that between now and then. It shouldn't take you long. Okay, so let's look at this.
Is it another like singular essay or is it a double essay?
You know, I haven't had a chance, PJ, to even look at it, so I'm not really sure, honey. I'm sorry.
I much prefer the single.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
If it's a single, it's going to be a little bit longer, probably like that other one was, I would imagine. Okay. Sorry, I did not open this. Does anybody care if I pull their essay up? Radhika, can I pull yours up? I feel like you got almost all the points. You okay with that? I can't see your face. Are you nodding? You have to say words.
My mouse just quit working. Yeah, you can use mine.
Okay. All right. So, like we've already talked about the organ of Corti. That is obviously that inner ear piece that is going to act like a microphone to transmit the sound from an actual physical vibration, right? As you, the way that your ear works and it's shaped the way that it's shaped, so that all that sound gets magnified and you know amplified. The further into your ear it gets, it's going to transmit that sound from your inner ear to your auditory cortex. So if you said something along those lines, you got credit for that. So Radhika said it's responsible for hearing. Of course, with a movie, we're going to need to be able to hear it. And that's fine. I would prefer that you talk about the inner ear, but if not, it's not the end of the world. Some of y'all lost points on trichromatic, and y'all just jump in if you have questions. I can't see you if you're like raising your hand or like trying to get my attention at all. So like just jump in if you have a question. Some of y'all lost points on this trichromatic part. Is it responsible for colors? Absolutely. But just based upon one thing you guys did or didn't do, I guess, is sometimes you would define the thing, but then not explain why it was important for that particular sense or that particular issue. Sometimes you explained why it was important for that issue, but didn't define what it was. And so you have to do both those things. You have to explain what it is and then explain why it matters or why it's relevant. So if you really just follow that format when you're doing these essays, did I define it? Did I explain what it is? And did I explain why that matters as it relates to this topic? Those are the two key factors that you're looking at for this essay. So you needed to say it's based on those three primary colors, that any color can be created by mixing those three colors. And of course, being able to see colors is important to enjoy the movie, okay? Something along those lines. So don't just define it, don't just explain it, you have to do both. When it comes to olfaction, that was a pretty simple one. Of course, you could say something like, you know, we smell popcorn and candy, you know, this makes her happy, she loves the smell of popcorn, whatever the case might be, all right? A lot of y'all lost points for this papier. So what we're talking about here, so a lot of you just said they're responsible for taste. And look, that's true. I can't argue that. But what you lost points for is you didn't say these are the little clusters or taste buds that receive the taste, the signal, and send it to our brain, and that is how we experience the sense of taste. So you needed to really go just one step farther, and just, you can't just say it's for taste. How do the papier work as it relates to taste? Okay. For the motion parallax, I couldn't decide, and so I erred on the side of giving you credit. The best answer here, what is motion parallax? Motion parallax is when you see an object, or you're riding in a car or a train, and objects appear closer or faster or smaller, depending upon how fast you're going and how far away it is, okay? And so some of you said on the drive over, maybe they had a bad experience, and one of the girls experienced this motion parallax phenomenon and got an upset stomach or had a rough ride over, whatever, because they saw the items whizzing by as they were driving or whatever. Some of you said they experienced the motion parallax phenomenon in the movie theater when maybe it was an action movie and all the movement, they were looking at the seats and the movie theater screen at the same time, and they got a little seasick or they got a little motion sick because of this, or it felt like the floor was moving underneath them because of watching the screen behind them. I mean, I give you credit for that, and I think that the AP folks would probably give you credit for that as well. But when it comes to that motion parallax, like we talked about, there's always a best answer, and the best answer relates back to probably the drive over, okay? Not just the movie itself. Some of y'all really narrowed this down to just the movie experience. And when you look at the question, how might the following concepts make the trip enjoyable for the sisters? And so, or less enjoyable. And so when it was the less enjoyable, when it comes to the motion parallax, you're going to look for like a negative experience, obviously, but we can also relate that back to how did they get to the movie theater? Did they ride the bus? Did they take a car? Did they hop on a bicycle? What did that look like? So we are kind of adding some information in there. So be careful about making big assumptions. Like this is a guarantee that this would happen. You would use a word like this might impact them because, correlation is not causation kind of stuff. The blind spot, a lot of you guys lost points for this because you knew what a blind spot was. Like I was very clear that you knew what a blind spot was. However, you didn't really define what a blind spot was. You said they wouldn't be able to see a section of the screen or a section while they're driving, or they're switching lanes as they're driving, and all of a sudden they almost get into an accident on the way to the movie theater because of their blind spot. That's possible, and that's, that could certainly happen. That's a great answer, but you needed to take it one step farther and say the blind spot is an area of the eye at the back of the retina where it is not attached, where there's no receptor cells, and you literally are blind there. You can't see as a result in that particular area. And so just take it one step farther. Y'all are so close if you just keep going a little bit further, okay? And then the last one is that gate control. All of you remember what a gate control is, and I'm really happy to hear that. The where you lost points is, so what do we know about a gate control? We know that when someone is in pain, what happens in the spinal cord, that gate swings shut, right, and blocks the pain receptors. What else do we know about pain, though? If you guys remember when we had that chapter, I told you if you distract your body with pain in other places, then your brain is confused by all of the mixed signals, and maybe those less severe pain signals can get through the gate control versus the really profound pain that that person is in. So if you said something like, one of the girls pinched their finger to distract themselves or to confuse the gate control into, feeling those lesser pain signals as opposed to the severe pain she was in from the hot oil. Does that make sense to everybody? I'm seeing some nodding.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, any questions about the essay? That's pretty straightforward. And you guys, for the most part, I feel like did very, very well on that. You guys need to take it just a little bit further. Again, 2 questions. What does it mean? What's the definition? And why does it matter? Why is it relevant to this particular question? As long as you're answering both those things, you don't have to write 12 paragraphs. These answers I think you're realizing, can be pretty short and sweet. It can be pretty direct, pretty succinct, which means short and sweet. But you have to do both those aspects. Okay. Yes, Brennan.
So this is really weird. I'm looking at my results and it says I only got 3 out of 7 points. But then
why? I'm gonna cut you off. You and Eliza, I mean cut you off, Brennan, but I tried to go back and fix y'all's because I graded it and then I felt like I think I was being too harsh. And y'all are first in the alphabet that were done, so you kind of got the short end of that stick. So there were several that I went back and tried to change and give you points, you and Eliza both, because she's a B and you're a C. You're the first 2 I graded. But once I've hit submit and graded it, I can't go back and change the number. So it looks like I changed it on my end. I thought it changed on your end, but it hasn't.
Yeah, it says 7 out of 8. I think there's only one that I didn't get a point for. So I was kind of confused.
So it's mixed. It looks like 3, but it's actually 7.
Yeah, mine's the same
I
thing.
got 7 check marks. I got everything except the gate control.
Yeah. Once I hit submit, it sent you a score. But then I went back and gave you those credits. So y'all did get 7 out of 8 points. So just don't even worry about that. That's not how I'm great. You get 50 points if you just do it. As long as you answer every single section. Please don't skip any of the words, y'all. If you skip words, I don't know that I can give you full credit. Okay. But this is an easy 50 points. Just showing up to class gets you 5 points every day, and just getting your essays done gets you 50 points. Okay, so let's go to facts really fast. Then I'll show you all the resources I'm talking about. No, that's not it, just kidding. There's like too many options in this thing. There we go. All right. So let me pretend to be y'all for a second. So if you go to all your classes and you go to AP Psych, and then you go to the announcements section, under that AP exam review, when you click it, that is where everything lives that you need to know about for this exam. So your FRQ questions, it's got the myap.collegeboard.org up there. The AP exam resource links. There's the testing guide that I think I told you about last time. It's got everything you could possibly need in there and any question you might need answered. There's that little video, it's 4 minutes. I think it'd be good for us to watch that real fast. What to expect AP exam video. And then here's the AP exam demo. We're gonna watch the video really fast, and then we're gonna do that demo. And then down here is the required documentation, your e-ticket, your ID, you know, those things. And then AP exam day checklist. I need y'all to go ahead and download, especially those 2 documents, the required documentation document and then the AP exam day checklist, and just start checking things off one at a time. Put it in a little folder. Those of you who have several AP exams, start you at AP Euro and an AP Psych and an AP Bio one. So y'all keep all of that straight, okay? So let's watch this video quick, and then we're going to go through that demo together as a class. Y'all can't hear that, can you? Because I have headphones on. Hang on. Can you hear it now?
This video will walk you through the AP 2020 exam's important steps and offer tips. 2 days before the exam, you will get an email with your AP ID and an e-ticket that will take you to your personalized exam. Check in 30 minutes before your exam starts. The first thing you'll do is enter your 8-character AP ID, and then fill out all your personal information. Note the timer at the bottom of the screen. Hit continue. The exam will automatically start when that countdown hits 0. And once it starts, the timer located at the bottom will count down how much time you have to read your question, craft your response, and submit it. If your exam has 1 question, you will have 50 minutes. If you have 2 questions, you will get 30 minutes for the first one and 20 minutes for the second one. If you are approved for extended time, it will be added automatically. The timer will turn red when you have 5 minutes left. That's when you should wrap up your work and start submitting your response. Once that timer hits 0, you will automatically be moved to the next question. This is important. You can get partial credit for a partial answer, but you will not get any credit if you submit nothing. You can use any device to take this exam, a desktop, laptop, tablet, or phone. If you're typing on a desktop or laptop, you can reduce the size of your browser window so you can see the question and your text file side by side. Type your AP ID and initials at the top of the page. You can also write your responses on paper. If you're writing by hand, use a number 2 pencil or a pen with blue or black ink. Use white paper, lined or unlined, and write legibly. Print or cursive is fine. You can place your phone next to your paper so you can keep an eye on your time. Be sure you put your AP ID and initials at the top of the page. If you use more than 1 piece of paper, number each page in order. For most AP exams, there are 3 ways to submit work. You can attach a text file typed in another application. You can paste a response typed in another application, or you can attach photos of work you wrote by hand. Let's walk through each option. To attach a typed response, click Attach Response with Attach Text File. You can browse for a file. Once you hit Submit, you cannot go back to that question, so make sure you're ready to move on before you hit Submit. If you choose to copy and paste your work, click on Paste Response. Copy your response and paste it into the box. Review it to make sure it has everything you want to submit and is formatted correctly. Once you have checked the pasted copy, hit Submit. If you're attaching a handwritten response, tap Attach Response. Tap Attach a Photo. Make sure it is vertical and you are in a well-lit space. Snap your photo. If your response has more than one page, make sure you attach the pages in order. Remember, once you hit Submit, you cannot go back. If you just have one question for your exam, that's it, you're done. For exams with 2 questions, if you finish the first one with time to spare, a timer will start a countdown for when your second question will automatically start. When you see this screen, the timer has started for your second question. The process for answering question number 2 is exactly the same as for question number 1, except you have 20 minutes to read the question, work on your response, and submit it. Once you submit your second answer, you're done. Some AP courses like World Languages and Music Theory will have exams that work a little differently. To learn more about these courses and more details on AP 2020 exams, go to cb.org/AP2020.
All right, so if you had to guess, what option do you think that I think you should use?
The computer
Copy and
ones.
paste it.
Why copy and paste, Trey?
Because I mean it's the simplest.
It is the simplest, and I'm going to be honest. I am very worried about attaching a file because that means if there's any issue with you uploading it or them downloading it, you're not going to get credit. To me, the easiest option is exactly how they did it in the video, for y'all to be on a computer, for you to have your screen open on one side and have the question right in front of you and then be typing. I know that some of y'all are not as comfortable at typing, but I still feel like, you know, especially the more we practice with these essays, I still feel like this is the best option. I am genuinely worried about you running out of time and then not uploading in time. The copy and paste is just Control-C, Control-V. Everybody knows how to do that, right? Like you highlight everything, you Control-C, you Control-V. My one caution for you is when you copy and paste sometimes it adds weird characters or sometimes only half of it copies. So give yourself a window so that you can copy and paste and make sure that everything is there. I hope that you heard her say, please, if you realize you are really running out of time, copy and paste what you have done so far. If you still have 2 sections left, like you have 2 terms you have not defined, copy and paste what you have and then type in the box what, you know, get as much done as you can in the last 90 seconds or 60 seconds or whatever you have left. You get partial credit for a partial answer. You get no credit if you put nothing down. And so please don't wait until you're all the way done and then don't give yourself enough time to copy and paste it in there. And like she said, once you hit submit, that's it. Okay. Does everybody feel good about, like, feel better about this now that you've seen that? You kind of know what it's going to look like? Okay. All right. And then the last thing that we're going to do together today, and then I'll set you free, is this demo. And I want you all to walk through this yourself. Okay. It's very easy. Yes, Brenner.
I did this yesterday, so can I go ahead and get off the Zoom?
Yeah, you can go, Brenner.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, bye, buddy. Okay, so hit practice. You're going to type practice in there, not your actual ID. You don't get that yet. Hit practice. And then you're going to enter your personal information in there. Okay. And let me see. And then you can hit continue and go through the whole entire thing until you are done. Okay, so you can kind of see what this looks like. That's it. That's all I wanted to do today. Do you guys have any questions about the AP exam, the essays? Do you feel good about it? Not so good about it? Talk to me for just a second. Hello?
I feel good about it.
Who's saying that? Alvarez?
Jeremy.
Yeah, you feel good about it?
Mm-hmm.
Who else? I want to hear
I
from
just got to
everybody.
study a little bit more.
Okay.
For the demo, is the link on RenWeb?
All those links, Sal, are on Facts under announcements for AP Psych. So the guide is on there, the video is on there if you wanted to look at it again, or if you had a question about something that she said. The required documentation link, the checklist is on there, and the demo. So, and all your Jeopardies. Like literally everything AP exam related is on the announcements page, so y'all could just go to one place to make it easier.
Okay.
Let me ask this question. I'm not trying to throw anybody in the bus. I'm genuinely curious. Have you heard from other teachers about how to do this? Like, is this the first time you're hearing this?
No.
Alvarez says no.
No, Miss Phelps went over it.
Good.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I did the demo by myself.
Yeah. But you didn't talk about it in class?
No.
Okay. Okay. That's all I got. If you guys don't have any questions, then you are free. We will meet again on Thursday, 11 o'clock. Your unit 4, I guess, whichever one's next, 4, I think, is due by 11. And then we'll meet next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll keep doing the same thing. Okay? Y'all good?
Bye.
Bye. Be good.